Hello, welcome to the Go Grab That Day podcast. Hope you guys are all doing well, wherever in the world you may be. Today, joining me on the podcast is Mr. Dave Mcdonagh from back home in Galway. Dave runs FitMac as a personal training company he has. He's very good at what he does. I'm a big fan of Dave's stuff, and it was great to speak to him on the podcast. A little bit about personal training and a lot of other stuff. Dave's a very interesting story, and we tried our best not to dive into the whole COVID and government shit, but unfortunately neither of us could avoid it. But it was a lot of fun talking to Dave, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I did, and I may get him on the podcast again sometime. But I appreciate it, Dave, and please check him out online, fitmac.ie on Facebook and Instagram, and his stuff is very good. And if you're looking to get fit or get in shape or anything like that, there's no better guy than Dave. So hope you enjoy it, guys. Thank you. How you doing, Dave?
Hello.
Yeah, can you? I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Wesley. Yeah.
We're sound. So. How are you keeping?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad.
Not too good at this technology stuff.
Listen, I'm only getting used to it myself. I had no choice when I started up this podcast thing but to figure it out, like, you know.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect there, yeah. You can hear me all right. You can see me and all that, yeah?
Yeah, perfect, bud.
Or sound. So, listen, I appreciate you coming on, Dave. It's good to be talking to you.
Oh, yeah, thanks very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. How's things in Aussie?
Oh, good. I'm in New Zealand.
Oh, shit. I thought you were over in Bobby. Sorry, neighbours.
The two of us now are over. The two of us are in Auckland now, in New Zealand. Bobby's on the outskirts of New Zealand as well. I'm in the city. But
brilliant.
Yeah, we're happy enough over here. Like, compared to back home, it's a little more free to roam around. But
yeah,
mad to get back home at the same time. You know, you still no place like home. You know what I mean?
Not right now. It's not.
No. That's what everyone is warning me against going home, and I'm doing the.
Oh well, no, it's crazy over here. It's just lockdown. Can't go more than 5K, and just crazy.
It's not crazy. Good. It's not good what they're doing back there. I've been going crazy. I've been seeing you online, all right? You've been going a bit mad about it, and you're dead right with the things you're saying. Like, what they're doing is disgraceful, man. It's ridiculous.
The lockdown is more impact on the economy and people's mental health, and it's just getting ignored. Everything's getting ignored. There's like, I think there's about 800,000 hospital appointments cancelled. It's just we won't go into that, but
it's true. Like, it's, you know what I mean. I don't understand it. They've yet to come out with proof of whether gyms or anything like that are a cause or a breeding ground. They've yet to come out with any proof, and they're still shutting them down.
Gyms are a place for people to get stronger and better their health in every way. Like, so, it's I never heard a case being in the gym, but I'd love to get into that, but I won't now because I only ramble on for the whole hour, and I start.
No, yeah, it's not easy. No, but listen, I wanted to bring you on anyway to pick your brain a bit, because obviously you're in the fitness industry. You're well experienced within the fitness industry, so I suppose just pick your brain a little bit. Obviously, we touched on a little bit there with lockdowns and things like that. Obviously, you're not able to train anybody at the moment, or are you trying to train and they're stopping you, or how's it going?
I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm not really doing much. I'm helping people out with a bit of program online, but I'm not really. I'm more into the face-to-face guy. I do a bit of pads with a few friends of mine, and that's about it. I do my own bit of training. I don't stop no matter what. Like, it's just
you can't. I mean, you can't stop. You know.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, I was talking to Ben Davis, the coach of Shaolin MMA. Great guy. I was talking to him a few weeks back, and he was the same as you. He said his answer was kind of similar. Like, he's not supposed to be training, but what they're doing is they're having to jump from living room to living room of some of the guys that they work with. And that's the only way they can train. He just said he said no matter what, he said he can't stop. He said his students need to get something, they need to do something, whether it's like you said, hitting pads or a bit of training.
100%, yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, it's yeah. I think so many people, like, when the gym stops, they don't have the motivation to train at home. I just call that damn lazy.
Yeah. But that's it, for sure. Look, I'm the exact same. Like we're living in an apartment over here, and we have a gym on the ground floor, and it's Jesus right at our doorstep. But unless you have the motivation, unless you're willing to actually want to do it, I mean, people are always talking about, geez, I need the motivation to go to the gym. A person who needs motivation to go to the gym doesn't want to go to the gym. That's my opinion. You know what I mean?
That's 100%. Like, but I suppose even me, like I train no matter what. Like, but I had a week or two there where I was kind of I stepped back, but
Yeah.
I'm just too tick to stop. No matter what I have, you put me in a match. You put me in a matchbox, I'll train.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
it.
know,
That's the
it,
different. That's the different attitude you have. You see.
it's like even with the like at the start, I didn't have much equipment at home, so I just done a lot of body weight stuff and fitness stuff, and I just worked on my weak spots. Have I any?
My man, that's it. But yeah, like that. That's I myself and my missus. She's from Brazil, and we're always having the same discussion. She's always saying to me like, "Oh, I don't want to go to the gym." Like, and I keep saying to her, "You have to understand is like for me, I don't just go to the gym because I want to get strong here. There, I do it because I actually love doing it. I love that. You know what it's like, Dave. You go to the gym there, and 5 minutes into it, you're forgetting about all your worries. That lift is all you're thinking about, and you're just getting
Yeah,
all your endorphins are all over the place. That's what I love about the gym, and I keep trying to tell. Like at the moment, I'm way off you, like, but I'm studying now at the moment to be a PT through an
fair
NASM
play to you.
course. Yeah, just a bit like you, Dave. I'm trying to keep my mind occupied during this. Like, it's not as bad over here, but every few weeks we are going into a little bit of lockdown coming out again. So the only way to get through these things is to better the mind and better the body. Like, but I keep kind of telling people, I said, listen, it's you don't have to go to the gym if you don't want to, but find something. Like if it's hitting pad, like I love to hit pads as well. I love to do a bit of that training. I hate running, so I don't run. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll do what I enjoy, like, and I'll do it as best as I can do it.
100%.
Like,
Anything exercise related is good, better than nothing. And if you enjoy it, man, you know,
but that's
just
it.
do it.
And I think one of the reasons why I wanted you on as well is I'm starting to notice finally after all these years that there's a few PTs, yourself included, who are coming out and completely cutting out all the bullshit when it comes to dieting and nutrition. Like I see a lot of your posts are very simple. It's listen, pile green, protein, and a small bit of carbs on your plate. That's all you need. There's no need to look at keto and all of these. For years, myself, I'm not a big drinker or anything like that. I like a few pints the odd time. Like I don't have any issues with that. But I love my takeaway food. I love my shit food. I'll always admit that. But since I started focusing solely on just just a calorie deficit rather than trying to do these ketos and all these shake fucking diets, man, it's been so much easier to stick to a diet.
Yeah. There's too much there's too much information out there, and like if a person is going in, looking for information, you have this whole spectrum of craziness. Um, but like I like to simplify things like for example like I'm 53 now, so I grew up like in the 80s, late 70s. We're men.
You're still
Well,
young and healthy.
like
Young and healthy.
like I grew up with 3 meals a day. I had my breakfast, I had my dinner, and I had my tea, and that was it. And like the 70s and 80s, especially the 70s, there was no obesity. Now we're in cafes having our frappuccinos, bacchinos, and buccinos, or now we're eating every 2 hours, and like especially for people that want to lose weight, man, they overcomplicate things. I'm not a dietitian, but I've been eating for 53 years, so I know what food is. Like my strengths are the body mechanics of exercise. That's what I like. I love training. I love what training does to your mind and your body. But like I think people complicate things when it comes to diet. Like if people ask me to do a food plan for them, I give them 3 meals a day and a snack.
Yeah.
And that's what I do anyway.
I can guarantee that that's what I was going to say. I guarantee your simplified plan has a much better record than what some of these other ketos and stuff. Like I've fallen victim to some of these diets myself. You hear about them. You see a picture of some fella in shape online. You're like, oh, I could try me a bit of that. And 2 weeks into it, you're cranky. You're fucking upset. You know what I mean? And there's nothing worse. I tried myself
You're
out
all
here.
over the shop. You want to kill someone for a
Exactly,
pizza.
yeah. Slice of pizza and someone looks at you wrong, you're in a bad mood. But that's it. Like,
Yeah.
and even this, another thing, like it's the intermittent fasting, and so many people were talking about that. I tried that for a while, and I'm working in scaffolding out here. So you imagine now we're Irish, Dave, so we're not used to the sun. Like, so imagine now trying to do with a scaffolding in the morning and you're fasting. Jesus,
Yeah.
I wanted to throw the first tube off the building that I saw, you know.
I found with intermittent fasting, I found it handy for me when I was, let's say, cutting for a shoot or something, or sometimes I'd only do 14 hours. I know it's a 16, 24 hour, but 14 hours is very, very easy to do. It's a very handy tool for people that want to lose weight. Like, for instance, if you have your last meal at 6 in the evening and you don't eat till 9 o'clock in the morning, that's only 14 hours. It's not so bad. It's kind of, I think it's good to give your stomach a break, and it's probably even better for 40-year plus guys to do it.
Yeah. No, I have
You
heard.
know, and like people that have weight issues, and especially if people are eating a lot of rubbish at night time, it's a good kind of a thing. It's I put it this way: intermittent fasting will work the same way as being on it if you're eating the same calories on a normal day.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah. But I think that's exactly what I was actually going to ask you about, because I think that's where people make the mistake. There's three, like I said, there's yourself, there's Peter O'Halloran, who's another great PT from Ireland, and then there's James Smith, who's a guy based out in Australia. And you three, cool. You're the guys I follow closely lately, because you're the only three who completely cuts through the bullshit. And that's what James Smith had said. He said that there's nothing wrong with intermittent fasting, but the problem is people don't realize that it's just another form of a calorie deficit, just another fancy way of saying it, you know.
100%, yeah.
But it does obviously work, like you said. It still works. There is some people that even keto, like I'm not shitting on keto. Keto is a good diet for some people, but the problem is,
it works for some people. You see, yeah,
it's just not for everybody, you know.
I suppose everybody has different effects from different foods, and different diets can suit people, and it probably boils down to their if people have an illness or if people are allergic to things. Some people can, do better on keto, and some people can do better. I just don't cut any macro out. I like to eat my carbs, my bit of protein, my fats.
Yeah.
And I don't eat 2 chickens a day. I don't eat give me 4 chickens, 10 turkey burgers. I eat normal, I eat normal, and I can get into shape, eat normal. I don't overcomplicate anything,
Yeah, and you're not going around cranky that way. Like I'm the same. For me, I can eat clean, but I like to enjoy a bit. Like I enjoy a bit of carbs. I like to enjoy the odd pizza. But for me,
100%.
I still need to eat. You know what I mean? I can't go like hours on end without eating. I'm not a very happy person to be around. Like, I need to get in some sort of food.
I mean, 3.5 hours, maybe 3.5 hours, maybe 4 the most. That would be the most. Yeah. You eat, 3 meals a day and a snack. For me, anyway, that does me like it does me.
It's about recognizing when you're really hungry, like, is it, rather than kind of trying to time everything. Your body knows, like, it's going to tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing
we need a treat now and again. Like I eat like 80%, 70% clean, but I still have treats during the week. I don't go crazy on treats, like, you know what I mean?
But you have to, like, I mean, it's nice to be healthy, but you gotta enjoy yourself the odd time. It's like nice to have if it's a beer or if it's a piece of cake or whatever it is, because otherwise,
you're right, man.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're in a fucking lockdown, you don't want to be doing on a diet as well.
I have a piece of cake here behind the iPad.
Dead right there. Keep it hidden. You can't be doing that and talking about PT. But the other thing I wanted to chat to you about is I don't know, for people that don't know, you fought a little bit of Muay Thai yourself as well.
Well, my background, I boxed as a novice. I boxed from about 11 years of age to 17. I started boxing in Renmore when I was a kid with a good friend of mine, Pat Lambert. He's an American now. He's a really, really good boxer. So I done a bit of boxing when I was young. It was the only sport I ever took up. I have a bit of a story actually to tell you, if you don't mind.
By all means, work away, my friend.
I started boxing around 11, and I joined Chancellor Box Club, Galway Box Club, under a fellow called Gay Farrell. And I boxed with him for a while, and I had a couple of fights under him, and I won the county championships boxing, and we had to did the Connacht spin and the Irish, so I had big hopes to enter these.
Yeah.
So to enter the Connachts and the Irish, you had to have a doctor's cert. But I've got a very rare illness, so I went to my doctor and got the cert, and we sent the cert up to Dublin for where the boxing board was. And a couple of weeks later, I was in the gym training away, and my trainer called me over and says, the boxing board won't let you box. It was the biggest blow I ever. It was the biggest. I was devastated, because it was the only sport I'd done, and I was getting pretty handy. So he said, you can train, but I can't let you fight this.
Fuck.
So I stuck around for a week or two, and what I done was I crossed the road and I joined the Olympic Boxing Club under Chick Gillen. I had some fun with Chick. So so I stuck with Chick for a while, and there was a tournament down in Chockferbo. And that time you wouldn't get matched. You just go out, you're fighting him. He wouldn't know who you'd be fighting.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got matched, and over the other corner was Gabe Farrell, one of my the lads I used to train with. And Gabe was looking at me, and I was in Chick's corner, but he never said nothing. And we had the fight, and I had about 15 amateur fights in boxing, and I went to London when I was 17. So I kind of stopped it because I always thought I wanted to become an Irish champion, but because of my circumstances with my doctor's cert, which shouldn't have happened, because even with I have an autoimmune disease, very rare disease, it wouldn't affect my boxing. It was just that it didn't affect my mobility or nothing, or what I can do.
Yeah.
So I stopped boxing. I went to London when I was 17. I didn't last very long, so I joined the Galway City Gym that year as well.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the gym. So I started Thai boxing in my late 30s. I don't know, it was around 38 or something. So I brought Dave and Jack down, my two sons, to bring them down to Dave Joyce, to Hanneman Muay Thai. Dave, fantastic trainer. And so I brought the kids down more or less to get them into to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So a few months later, it was me that was in the ring. So I fell in love with Thai boxing. Then I went I got really focused into it. And I only had a few amateur fights, and I wanted to do one professional fight. So I actually trained for 3. The first 2 got pulled. The third one I got. And but the problem was I had to get a doctor's cert. So I had to get my son to piss in a bottle for me, because I have chronic kidney disease, you see.
Yeah.
I actually have chronic kidney disease. So he peed in the bottle, and I passed the cert. Sorry, Dave, I never told you that one, but sure, hey, I had to do what I had to do. Had to fight, retired.
Breaking news, huh?
Yeah, I wanted to get this done, so I had my professional fight, and then I stopped. So yeah.
That's pretty. You know what? I have heard that with, if I'm not wrong, Paddy the Houlihan that used to fight in the UFC. I think he had something similar to you, to where it was like an autoimmune thing, but didn't really affect anybody but himself. It was something similar to that, but same thing. He couldn't get doctors to sign, sir, and there was nothing. It didn't do him any harm or anything like that. I suppose it's just doctors. It's like that old saying, doctors shouldn't fight. But that's
doctors differ and patients die.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. Like, it's a shame, because you know what I mean, especially when you love a sport like that.
That was the biggest. It was the only sport I ever done. It was boxing, and it was, I was only 17 at the time, and I was coming pretty good, and So, but I enjoyed it. Muay Thai was fantastic. I really liked it. I even done the judges course. I used to judge a couple of fights around the country as well. And someday maybe I might start a striking class. It's always in me, because I do a lot of pad holding for different types of fighters. And
I was going to ask you that. That's what I was getting to, actually, because it's pretty clear you still have the passion for it and all that. And it's good, one good thing about that is, there's plenty of people who, like you, if they were told you can't fight or you're not able to fight, they would have gone, fuck this. But it's nice that you kind of,
Yeah.
you didn't get to do exactly what you wanted to do, but you veered out and you still kept it yourself in the sport some way or form. You know what I mean?
I had enough scraps on the street anyway growing up.
You've enough experience off paper. Yeah.
Look.
But that's it. That's what I plan on doing as well with as I said, I'm doing the PT thing at the moment now. It's just fucking hard getting on top of it, but I do intend to get some pad holding courses and that kind of thing as well, just to vary up the training. It's great to, like, I know myself, I love going to the gym and stuff like that, but fuck me, there's nothing like smashing a couple of pads, nothing like getting a pad session.
No, endorphins, it's
insane, isn't it? It's just the way it gets your brain working, your body working, and you can picture someone that pissed you off that day on the pads and you can take it out on them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's brilliant for burning calories, for putting you in a good mood, for everything.
Yeah, and there's plenty of people, like you said, if you are going down the route of pad holding and stuff like that, it's great even just to have someone, some people can find the training a bit boring, you change it up a bit, they love that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
In terms of sorry, go on.
So I'm in the gym now, go to the gym 36 years now. 36 years in the goals of the gym. So I'm kind of 17. I'm still in it. And I suppose that's where I learned a lot of my trade into the lifting and I'm not a bodybuilder, but I done all different types of training. Still learning. You
just recently completed a strength training course, am I right?
Yeah, with Sebastian Nob. Yeah, pretty intense. I was looking to do a strength conditioning one, and I didn't know where, so I picked the Australian strength coach Sebastian Nob because he's trained athletes around the world. He's trained the strongest man 2018, and his content was brilliant. So I done that during the lockdown,
But that's that's the good thing you're doing is, like I said, like I'm working. I'm trying to work on a little project over here for kind of like mental health and things like that. Just getting people to come on and talk about their issues and stuff like that. But this is what I'm always saying to them, during these lockdowns, especially in Ireland, because Ireland have been really put through the fucking ringer with lockdowns, just to keep your mind busy some bit. Whether it's every course you can do can be done online now. Get on a laptop there, keep your mind busy.
Yeah.
By the end of lockdown, you could have a degree or a certificate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, Leslie, 100%. Like, you got to keep your mind active. Like, at the beginning of the last lockdown, I just seen it and I said, okay, I'm going to sign up for this. And so I done the level 2. It's pretty intense, but it's done now. And I even when I compete these courses, okay, and you do these courses and you pass, you still have to go back and refer to level 2 because there's so much information to take in.
Exactly. Listen, tell me about it. Like I said, the book I'm doing here now, it's online and it's got the book. The book is about fucking that big, and I'm trying to get all the notes out of it. I finish a chapter and I'm like, what did I just read there? I have no idea. But that's what I suppose most of it, Dave, is done through the training anyway. You kind of learn as you go. You know what I mean? But
it's experience is the best. The thing I think I find in coaching these days, and not disrespecting coaches, but people buy their coaching these days rather than experience it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's my opinion anyway. And they make things, they try to complicate things. You gotta get good at the basics. Even the best athletes in the world has to get good at the basics.
Yeah.
You don't get up to the basics and the fundamentals of training. You're not going to go anywhere. My advice to anybody that's doing fitness: master the basics. Master them.
It's endless anyway. It's not like you're ever going to truly, conquer a squat. If you conquer it, put more weight on. You know what I mean? These are the things you just, and it's another thing. It's another thing that's been happening. I think is. Albeit that the dieting is getting a bit more simpler, it's like the fucking training now has gotten more difficult. You've every detail of trying to hit every muscle, where rather than just tell people, listen, this is what you need to build muscle, this is what you need to burn fat, whatever. They're always trying to overcomplicate things,
Structure balance is another thing. Like people, you got to have everything balanced within your body. You're pushing, you're pulling. You got to do the same ratio. So you got to your quads, hamstrings, everything nearly has to be the same. Because if you have a weakness in one part of your body, and you're like, what I see a lot of is people starting the gym, they never deadlifted before, especially women, right? And like to deadlift, you got to have strong lats for pulling. You got to have strong pulling muscles.
Yeah.
These guys are getting them to deadlift crazy weight, and they're not balanced.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because that's exactly what that course I'm doing now. The very first thing to have in it, it's a 5-tier structure course, say, and the first one is stability and balance. And silly of me, but I had never really thought of it. And what it gets you to do when you're training people is bring them in, say, whatever it be, a week or 2 weeks, a day, whatever, and just test their balance completely. Not lifting any weights, maybe put them on one of the balls, the half ball thing for balance.
Okay, yeah.
And it's funny, when you're like me, I've been in so many gyms down through the years, you would forget them kind of things, that really that's what's important, is getting your balance and your footing and all that before you go lifting anything.
100%, yeah.
And it's like one of the biggest, actually, a guy called Robert Oberst. He's one of the world's strongest men. He competes in one of those things, and he's a fucking monster, put it that way. He actually says that the deadlift is, well, he doesn't say it's useless, but he says it's too much risk for such a little reward, which was quite funny for a guy who's world's strongest man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was an exercise, to be honest. I never liked it. I just never liked the pressure it puts on your back, and I'm a person who has back injuries anyway, so that it would happen.
Lower back.
Yeah, it's just something I never.
Sumo lift is very, very good.
Yeah,
because there's less of a hinge in it.
Yeah,
and it's sumo is way more less impact on the back because you're not hinging as much in a sumo.
Yeah, it's funny that I just it's when I'd heard him say that, it's one of those exercises I never liked the feel of it. But like that, the sumo one is a lot more stable. Yeah. But in terms of you going forward now, like how is business going to be for you and stuff like that? Are you just going to try and
business? I always have my clients. I don't chase numbers.
Yeah.
I never have. I never chase. Come to me. Come on. I want 40 clients a week. I like my I always have clients. I'm confident of that. But do I want 40 clients a week? No.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of different people. I suppose my problem was that they always say you should find your niche. But I was too cocky. I said, "What do you mean find your niche? I can work with fucking everybody." and I have worked with everybody. I suppose what I'm thinking of now, I might dial it down a small bit and maybe go over 40 since I'm 53. Yeah. I work with women that have babies. I work with guys. I work with fighters. I've worked with my Ivan Gannon. He's Ireland's strongest man, 2017. He's a beast. Like he's a beast.
Well, Galway City Gym has its share of absolute monsters. I know when I used to train up there at one point.
Tony Cattery, the boss of Galway City Gym. I owe him so much. He taught me so much, in all the years. He taught me so much. I know Tony since even before I joined the City Gym. I know him about 37 years now, 38 years.
Yeah.
And he showed me how to deadlift, actually.
Yeah, Tony is a legend.
A legend. I entered 2 powerlifting competitions in 2004 and 2005. I was never really big into powerlifting. But I won Connaughts in 2005. Tony showed me. It was a sumo deadlift he showed me. He taught me that. Yeah. Tony's a great guy, man. I owe him so much. I owe him. I mean, if I hadn't got the gym and the training, I don't know where I'd be. And that's a fact. That's not for free. Yeah.
I can understand that, because it is, like I said, we keep going on about it. I try and avoid talking about lockdowns and stuff like that, but it's so hard to avoid it. But that's the thing. Like, as I said, I'm trying to tell people, especially now that I'm doing some bit of a podcast and stuff like that. The whole reason I picked up this thing was you know, how often, Dave, do you go online or on TV and it's fucking feeding you with nothing but negativity? And I can't remember the last time I watched the news. That's been honest with you. So what I swore I do.
But don't watch RT anyway.
Oh, geez, I definitely can't watch that. I get all that from the family anyway. It's the same thing.
Put a bullet through the screen.
Oh, stop. Fucking drive you crazy. Well, that's the thing. It's trying to, guys like yourself, that's why I brought you on. I said guys like Ben Davis and any of you boys that are doing, you know, health and fitness, doing your best to keep people in shape mentally and physically. You know, I cannot stand the fact that you boys can't work. It drives me fucking crazy. I think it's a crime. And that's the only word for it. It's an absolute crime that you boys cannot work. You know, I don't understand it. It'll never make sense to me. And I rant enough about it when I go on the podcast, like, but it's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, you want? Yeah, it's don't let me talk about the government.
No, yeah. No, listen, talk away. They're fucking useless.
Fucking hell! It's this. I don't know. I suppose the weirdest year for everybody. Like, you know, kick the curve a year later. Like, you know,
madness, Dave, isn't it?
And the sad thing about it is, like, what I noticed is, like I'm on Facebook, I suppose, for more of a reason, because I have a business page.
Yeah.
So on my personal page, you know, I don't put too much stuff up, maybe me and the kids or a couple of, you know, but like the past year, there's been people, like, what's happening is people are getting divided. There's people like believe in all they're hearing, and there's people that doesn't believe in all they're hearing. The next thing you have this online abuse, and where these people used to be friends.
Yeah.
And you know, there's even family members with different opinions, and it's causing awful grief. It's very sad to see.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's funny you say that. That's exactly now what like I was saying, the thing I'm going to do, the mental health thing I'm planning on doing in the next few weeks. That's exactly what it's kind of based on. Is I see so many people in terms of everything. Forget, you name a subject, I see people. Even MMA. I'm a massive MMA fan. I could talk about it all day. But as soon as you go online, and I do a podcast weekly talking about MMA, so I'm always researching and stuff like that. As soon as you go online, when a fight, like you could name the greatest fighter in the world, he loses, all you see is abuse. Nothing but abuse hurled at him, and it's or him or her, whoever it may be. And it just drives me. I'm ranting. I must be ranting twice a week about it, but it's the same, just like you said. People are killing each other over fucking something they can't control anyway, and something that they should be pointing the finger at the government. It's just wrong, because you know, and I know what it's like. It's hard enough as it is to go through a lockdown, to not know where your future is, then to be arguing with people who you should be fucking standing by. Yeah, and
I find people are afraid to express their feelings. I think, like, if I believe in something, you know, I try not to insult someone, but I put it out there. But I think people that believe in things are afraid to put it up because they're going to get abused from the majority of people that don't, which is wrong. Freedom of speech is gone now.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Like, that's the problem. It's, you can't even, you know, and I even find it myself, you know, if I'm talking, I'm checking my words all the time. I swore, like my missus was the one that convinced me to get into this podcast, and she thought it'd be a good job, but I swore that if I did it, no, but I said, the one thing I said to her, I said, listen, if I do this, I do it my way. I'm not copying anybody. If I get cut off in 2 months, then it's because I spoke the way I normally want to speak about what I want to speak 100%. About. You know? But that is, you're right in the sense of, like, you still have to be careful nowadays, because people are just mad to shut somebody down. You know, they're mad to say, oh no, look, you can't say that, or you know,
yeah.
The world has gone mad, Dave. I don't know.
It's gone crazy, like.
But let's just hope that things are slowly going to pick up. I don't know. This vaccine is going around or whatever. Whether I believe it or not, I don't know. But I just hope the world starts to open up.
No thanks.
I had a feeling you're going to say that. I listen. I can understand it too. I have my doubts on both sides. I see the argument for this vaccine. I see the argument against it. If I'm honest, I don't know if I'm offered, will I take it or not. I truly don't. It's just
it's I think like we all should have a choice. Everyone should have a choice of what goes into any of our bodies, you know. And I'm all for protecting people, and which I do, you know. Like, but everyone should have a choice. And I wouldn't even talk about the passports.
I know.
I'm just going to move in the mountain and grow a beard.
Yeah. But you know
Moving to
what?
a cave.
I
You
was
know,
listen. I was thinking, fucking, because out here, it's with your visas and everything like that. You know, every year you have, and with all the lockdowns now, there's been such a complication with our visas. And I was thinking, fuck, it's bad enough with the visas. Now they're going to be looking at to see if you're fucking stamped for a vaccine. I was like, come on, like.
yeah, yeah. I just hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, like, listen, I can understand people wanting to take the vaccine, but you know what a lot of people are missing out on, and I'd say, or what the point they're missing is, they're all looking to get, oh, geez, get this vaccine, but nobody is actually looking at what they're doing in their normal life. Like, are you getting enough vitamins into you? Are you eating right? Because, I mean, you can get all the vaccines you want. If you're overweight and eating shit, it's not going to do no favors.
If you're overweight and you have a lot of issues, it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. But as you said, if you're eating good, drinking lots of water, taking your vitamin C, zinc, and your vitamin D, you're going to build up your immune system, and my opinion, like if I get this virus, I think I'll be good. I'll fight it. Like I'll be good.
Listen, you have at least some bit of confidence in yourself to say that you're healthy enough if you get this virus.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
yeah.
So that's like, it's fair for people to. It's unfair, sorry, for people to judge and say, oh, why aren't you taking the fucking vaccine? You're putting at risk. Whereas you can turn around and say, hang on, I'm fucking training every day. I'm eating healthy every day. Maybe you're putting everybody at risk by taking the vaccine and not looking after yourself.
But sure, if the vaccine is so good, why are they worried about me, whether I'm taking the vaccine or not?
Exactly.
And and another thing as well, which drives me mad, is like, these masks has been debunked. They don't work. Absolutely. They do not work. And like, we're wearing them to respect other people, but people jogging outside wearing masks and cycling on bikes in the rain, seriously?
Yeah.
And if a person, like, people are judging other people for not wearing masks, and people are being really, really nasty to people. There's some people that can't wear masks because of medical reasons. So now all of a sudden, shopkeepers, security guards, all acting like they're authority over people. It's gone crazy, like.
It is. It's absolute madness. But it's totally. Unfortunately, people feed in on the news, and I did for the start myself, like saying, "Geez, how bad is this?"
Same here, yeah.
Of course you do when they. But one thing as well, which I said to my family back home, the Irish news are doing this big thing where they're feeding, this Brazilian variant of this. Oh, it's bad, and it doesn't. But you know that the what do you call it, the WHO, the World Health Organization, they came out.
Oh yeah.
They come out with a statement saying that this Brazilian variant is the exact same as the other one. It's no more dangerous, only it's a little more, like a little percentage more contagious. That's it.
Yeah, but you got to understand, right? The next man that goes up to the moon, right? He's going to come down here and he's going to bring the moon variant.
But that's it, like, yeah. No, it's true. And this is, like, to be honest, all along I was saying, I'm not a major vaxxer anyway. I'm not into it because I just don't like, unless I have the science and everything, and the scientist standing by me, I don't like jabbing myself with stuff that I don't know what it is. That's just my honest opinion. And I have slight, like, I am allergic to peanuts and stuff like that, so I have to be careful with what's going into my body.
Very, very careful, yeah.
So, like, when I heard they were saying, oh, but this new Brazilian variant, the vaccine doesn't work, I was like, fuck, so how many vaccines are you going to have to get? Because there's going to be, like you said, there's going to be a New York one next. There's going to be fucking all sorts of variants. It's going to be like... it's kind of funny because what they're saying is take the vaccine, but you still have to wear a mask and social distance. Well, I leave it there because I don't really want to get into vaccines and stuff because I lose my mind. No, I don't blame you.
I'm not an anti-vaxxer because I had all my vaccines and my kids have their vaccines. But this one, no thanks.
Yeah, no, but listen, this is the problem as well. Like, why does somebody have to be labelled an anti-vaxxer? It's a choice you're making for you.
And it's the most ridiculous thing anyone can call someone an anti-vaxxer. What is it? Okay, it's a person that worries about. I worry about something that goes into my body. That doesn't make me an anti-vaxxer.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And like
I'm not going to eat 10 cheeseburgers in a row, am I?
But that's exactly,
that's good for my body. So I don't want to fucking.
That's exactly like I've had this discussion with it. other PTs and stuff like that, saying, you know, that's what people need to focus on more instead of like waiting around for this vaccine. You know, it's a bit like the whole diet thing. Like it's like sitting on your ass all day going, "Jeez, I can't wait. Listen, your diet pill comes out." Instead of getting up off your ass, you know, instead of putting down the third ice cream, like, you know, it's the exact same thing. People want a quick fix for everything, and this fucking vaccine is not going to fix things like that either. You know,
no, it's not going to fix nothing. No,
just people need to. And I'm glad you said that because it's true. Like where people are all kind of turning on each other about these things. Oh fuck it, it's crazy. Oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. It's not, man. It's people have the right to choose.
The people are turning on each other while our governments are plotting and planning and feeding themselves with money.
Well, that's exactly it. And at the end of the day, it's still, no matter what way it goes, it's going to be us, the Irish people, and people. It's the same over here. Like only it's a little better, but still going to have to pay the price at the end of the day. You know.
Yeah. Look, hopefully, like that, the truth will come out with all this virus anyway. In the end, you know, the truth will always come out because I don't believe in the hype. Like, you know, that's.
Yeah, no. And listen, what's going to happen as well is they can put all the rules out there as long as they want. People are not going to stay indoors much longer. You know, they're coming towards the stage now where the government are going to have to start going. Listen, we're going to lose control here if we don't fucking start. People are. You see, there's the reactions where people are open up their stores and stuff now against the rules. That's going to start being a lot bigger, you know. And I'm glad. I hope everyone keeps doing it.
People need to stand up because there's more people than governments. There's more people than whoever's pulling the strings. People need to say enough's enough.
But that's the problem. There's not enough people willing to do it. But in time there will be. And listen, one thing about
I am. Put me in.
First man to the queue. No, that's it. Listen, the Irish people are known for that. We'll rise again after all of this bullshit, and hopefully. Like I'm over here fucking, I've been planning flights for the last year and a half and I still can't get back. So let's hope soon I can.
Horrible, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, but it's not just an Irish problem. It's here as well. If I leave, we're not letting us back in. So hopefully, like in the next few months, if things change a bit, we'll get home and we'll see what it's like. And hopefully, life will be somewhat back to normal. Listen, Dave, I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but I appreciate you coming on big time, and I hope you're keeping well. And it's good to see that you're getting some bit of training as much as you can.
Thanks very much.
There's people like you, we need you in times like this because you're keeping us all healthy and fit and you're cutting through all the bullshit that we tend to read online. So keep it up. Your content is brilliant, buddy, and I share your page as much as I can.
Thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate you having me.
Not at all. Listen, I'll have you on some other time, hopefully, when hopefully life is a bit brighter.
Hopefully from the other side.
Nice one, buddy. Listen. Take care of yourself.
Thanks very much. Bye.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
And we're back. So that was Dave Mcdonagh. As I said, Dave is very, very good at what he does, and he's a very interesting character, and I had a lot of fun speaking to him. So please do check him out online, guys. Check out his Instagram and his Facebook. It's fitmac.ie, I think. Yeah, it is. That's fitmac, FITMAC. Yeah, his stuff is very good, and I'm a big fan of Dave and all the stuff he's doing at the moment. And as I said, hopefully we'll get him on again sometime. Thank you, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're all doing well. Go grab that day.